pleasure to meet y'all at last. And I've come back here on Why Is That. If you haven't already noticed, my Why Is That episodes are actually getting shorter in length. And this is so that they can become more shareable, and this is also so that I wouldn't have to waste time sitting out here in the cold. Not to mention the fact that I have actually taken much longer times of trying to think about what I'm trying to say, rather than to just keep going onwards and just wasting my breath in ways. So for today's question, we got ourselves another YouTube commenter who asked me, why is that it's your influence that's gestating an impromptu chart of charisma which assists in allocating self-esteem? Now, first off, I really love the American that you just put in your question. Your question has so much American in it than any other question I've ever come across. And I know you're a believer in the American language, and so I don't know what else to do with you other than just give you a shout out. I don't know what I could do with you. Maybe I could meet up with you someday and I could buy you a whole load of Christmas presents. I don't even know what I can do. Because you got so much American in your question right now, hardly any English in it at all. But that's probably not the important part. The important part is to answer the question right now. So, my influence on YouTube or Twitter, which have, I wouldn't say my YouTube actually hasn't gotten itself in a huge load of credit, whereas my Twitter, I mean, there's a huge chunk of credit that I have received over the last year and a half. I mean, so many people have been DMing me, they have been talking to me, really, they've been tweeting to me, they have been doing lots to really help my Twitter account out. But I wouldn't say so much for my YouTube. That is only because after 5.5 years of just staying in the dark, as of this June, is where I just rose back up and just started going on YouTube all over again. As if nothing happened. But you know what? I am going to address it like nothing happened, and that I'm just going to start all over again and just go along with it as if nothing happened at all. But here's the thing. Why would my influence shed charisma, which would help with self-esteem? That is actually a much bigger question than I've probably ever come across in the history of Why Is That questions so far. But here's the pitch. Because my influence on Twitter with people that are really thanking me for helping them out, because I have given shout-outs to others on Twitter, possibly even to others on YouTube. But let's get real around here, because sometimes there's always a chance that others would feel much better about themselves thanks to my help on Twitter, that they would tend to just keep on going rather than to just carry on and just feel like they want to call it quits. And that is because, actually, it's my sort of safe for work policy. And I have only just figured out what safe for work is like. And that is only because of how many employers out there are checking Twitter and YouTube accounts. And I have never had myself a not safe for work type of work on here, as it turns out. My YouTube and Twitter have been cleaner than any other kind of cleaner on the planet. They've been cleaner than any kind of green energy plants. They have been cleaner than any kind of wind power plants. They have been cleaner than any other kind of energy existing on the planet. They have been cleaner than probably even Earth itself. And if you don't believe me, well then it's tough luck, because there's a good chance that your account on Twitter or YouTube, probably doesn't matter which one it is, has some sort of not safe for work kind of content on it. Pornography doesn't really matter what it is that is not safe for work, as it would be known as. There's a darn good chance that the employer would want to most likely just fire you over something like that. And I know it may seem like I'm coming down on you like a brick wall, but that's the truth. And of course, honesty does matter. I tend to take it more honesty than I would with what faking it really would be like. And there's also more to it than just my honesty, that my influence plays a huge role into helping others, really. My influence on Twitter, based on with the many kinds of talents that I have put on, Not to mention my YouTube, because I have actually engaged in the community with tons of different trends and challenges, the safe ones that is. Any of those that I have put forth to, I put plenty of work into each ones to make sure that they're done right, and so this way nothing bad can happen to them, or anything else that would really just upset the balance of my account and myself as a person overall. All of this tends to really help play a big, important piece of life that just happens to me between high school and college. And this way with both my accounts of being clean. And so this way with both of my accounts being clean, I am more than just likely guaranteed to have myself a much brighter future ahead of me. And I would also very much encourage anybody else out there who does the sort of safe for work type of demeanor on their account or accounts to do the very same thing. And that is because all of that type of stuff that I have done in the past is really not that much big of a deal in contrast to what we have here today. Because it's all gone now. There's no other trace of it, there's no way you could see it. It would be like nothing happened, of course. And there you pretty much have it. So, you got yourself quite a question there, and you got yourself quite an answer. That just comes right down onto me. And it comes from me, it comes to you. And once again, I would very much want to thank you for just sending me such a question like that. That is so much American that you put right into it. You asked me a question and it had so much American in it than any other question I have come across so far. Although sometime I might find a question with even more American in the future, but since it's not happening right now, it's just you right now that sent me such a good question with a ton of American in it. Whereas everybody else, they've just been going with a language we don't even speak. I know it sounds too bad, but you're just going to have to try to speak American like you should in a country like this. If you want to get yourself a shout out and you want to make me proud as an American. And if you want to see more, go down on my channel with vlogs, Why Is That episodes, and anything else that I tend to do on my channel nowadays. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.